Good morning, or depending on when you're watching this, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. My name's Ross, and as always told, out of voice radio, so I'm here just for a little bit, interrupting my week off, to bring you a couple little bits of news that, frankly, I think you need to know a little bit about. So, with all of that borne in mind, let's talk about some news stories, starting with the Pokémon Center exclusive Elite Trainer boxes, which are coming out for Evolving Skies. Now, we knew these were coming. We've been told about these, we've been warned about these. We knew these were a thing. We had images of the boxes. What we didn't have any images for were what was actually in them, what the contents actually were. Well, wonderful news, ladies and gentlemen. We now totally do. Although, honestly, it's not terribly surprising. Now, one of the things we wanted to know, one of the biggest questions, was going to be the design of the sleeves. And the sleeves look cool. Now, remember, there are two different Elite Trainer boxes and two for the Pokemon Center exclusives, and one of them features Leafeon, Umbreon, Jolteon, and Flareon, which is definitely the best of the two. And you'll notice here the sleeves, we've got a very similar design to what we see on the box. We've got those four slanted lines that are actually mixing them all up. It seems kind of cool. Incidentally, the dividers here actually look a little bit more like what is actually on the front of the box, but these are still very, very cool. And if we go over to the other one, the one that features Sylveon, Espeon, Glaceon, and Vaporeon, the way to remember it is in TCG terms, this is the Psychic and Water types. Obviously, I know they're not in VG, but in TCG, they totally are. And again, you got a very, very similar thing going on here, except the Pokemon featured and the color scheme is different. You will notice that the color scheme of the flipping die and damage counter dice are also a little bit different here. Now, the coins do also look different. We have more of a goldy coin and more of a silvery coin. I'm going to be honest with you here, right? I am a colorblind man. So I am not an expert when it comes to colors. I've put them both up on the screen, and you can basically figure out yourselves what those colors are actually called. I can help you with Pokemon stuff. I can help you with TCG stuff. I have many areas where I think I can claim to have a little bit of expertise. However, when it comes to colors, that is very much not my wheelhouse. I am sorry. One other cool thing that does need to be mentioned here, of course, we do actually have an EV pin. Now, this was incidentally on the sell sheet, so I told you about this before. I just totally forgot that this was even a thing, that we were getting an EV pin, so all I can do is apologize, ladies and gentlemen. Now, I want to say we've had this pin before. It does seem fairly familiar, but for the life of me, as I'm thinking around at the moment, I cannot think of the product where it came out, so I might just be misremembering things. If anyone can identify the product where this was released, please do drop a link or tell me in the description. Oh, no, comments. Don't go to the description, that would be weird. But in the comments, and I would be delighted to see it. So yeah. I mean, if anyone's wondering, let's compare it to a regular Elite Trainer box, because remember, these are Pokemon Center exclusive, but there is a regular Elite Trainer box as well. You will notice that the design of the dividers and sleeves are a little bit different. The coin is bigger and metallic, not metal, metallic. The dice are slightly different. It is worth pointing out that the Chilling Reign Pokemon Center exclusive Elite Trainer boxes, and that is a little bit of a mouthful, they actually did have metal dice, not metallic, full-on metal dice. However, they didn't have the pin, so that's essentially the difference. And these products are changing all the time. This is absolutely fine. But it is worth just bearing in mind that there are slight differences here, even comparing the Pokemon Center exclusive to the regular, and then from the old Pokemon Center exclusive to the new Pokemon Center exclusives, there is a little bit of a difference there, like I say, that you've essentially gotten plastic dice, but you've gained an EV pin, so I'm actually gonna call it a win for this. I'll take the pin over the dice any day. I mean, you still get dice, they're not metal, but I'd take the pin personally. Now, as mentioned a couple of times, yes, these are Pokemon Center exclusive. No, they cannot be gained anywhere other than at the Pokemon Center. However, I know a lot of people are gonna, every time I post about any product, I always get a bunch of comments being like, oh yeah, but it's never gonna be in stock. Well, as I sit here at the moment, yes, the Psychic Water one is out of stock. The other one is just totally up for pre-order. Were I in the US or had a way of ordering from the US, because remember, they don't ship to Europe, unfortunately, I would be able to order one of these right now. And the other thing to bear in mind is that since they initially went up for pre-order, they have come into stock and gone out of stock a few times. So, although I can't guarantee, it is extremely likely that even the one that isn't available for pre-order at the moment will become available for pre-order at some point in the not too distant future. Cannot say that with absolute certainty, of course. I'm not in charge of Pokemon supply, stocking, etc. But that is, shall we say, fairly likely. So these are cool. Of course, do remember that they come with an extra 2 booster packs, $10. Essentially, for an extra $10, you get 2 extra booster packs, the pin, different coin sleeves, etc. You gain the pin and the extra boosters, and then a lot of the accessories are a little bit different. And last time they did this with Chilling Reign, they actually forgot to send the extra 2 boosters. They packaged them up with 8 rather than 10, but then they gave you this really cool exclusive product, which is 2 packs and a free Galarian Birds and a Raikou coin all packaged together. Chances of that happening again are basically 0, unfortunately, or at least extremely low, but you never know. You might get lucky. And speaking of things coming back into stock, I also need to let you know that Chilling Reign, it's back in stock. We've had a nice big restock in the UK. I cannot confirm whether there have been nice big restocks in the US, but I can tell you that a lot of the time restocks happen all over, because essentially it means the printers have run off again. Now, sometimes stock is found from elsewhere and essentially moved, but a lot of the time a restock means that what they've basically done is done another printing, and that makes it way more available. Now, some shops in the UK I've seen stocking a bit more recently. The lovely Stephen Kent, he of Playscape Games, we like Stephen Kent, has told me that Chilling Reign should get a reprint at some point very late in 2021 or early 2022, which is a cool thing. Now, like I say, some stores I have seen in the UK putting new stock up. I don't think that's part of the reprint because it's way too early. But there is a proper reprint coming, and it is coming at the end of the year, beginning of next year. And this is a really big deal, because remember, organised play is starting to wake up. It's starting to come alive again. Tournaments are starting to pick up. Tournaments are starting to happen. And this is wonderful, wonderful news. Because Chilling Reign is a really, really good set in terms of competitiveness. Chilling Reign has a bunch of very good cards competitively. I mean, by now you should probably all be aware that the presumptive best deck in the format is Shadow Rider Calyrex. That deck is absolutely nuts. But Malamar's been gaining a whole bunch of steam lately, especially since the lovely Antoine Boulet went and got a top 16 finish at Japanese Nationals, going 8-1 on day 1, beating the eventual winner, and only dropping out to go and get vaccinated. Could well have been the winner of the entire tournament, that deck. The Ice Rider Calyrex deck is seeing a whole bunch of play lately. That Inteleon pops up in deck after deck after deck after deck. And then, of course, you've got the trainer cards, which are always going to end up being an awful lot cheaper. But things like Fog Crystal for Psychic decks, Path to the Peak for decks that don't rely on abilities, etc. When tournaments do start up again, the fact that Chilling Reign is going to be back on the shelves is a wonderful, wonderful thing. And we should all be absolutely delighted about this. This is wonderful, wonderful news. Now, this does lead to questions like, well, hang on a second, is Battle Styles going to be getting a reprint anytime soon? Because that was the set before Chilling Reign. And the answer is almost certainly not. It is readily available for under £100 in the UK, $100 in the US. It is a set which hasn't been particularly hyped and got printed very well. When a set is being discounted heavily everywhere, and that's where Battle Styles is at the moment, that means that the chances of it getting a reprint are very low, because essentially, why would Pokemon waste their time and effort reprinting a set which isn't selling that well and is being discounted? Put your printers to use on other sets. That could lead to a weird knock-on effect in the not-too-distant future where Battle Styles becomes hard to find, but we'll worry about that another day. In terms of Evolving Skies, which is of course the upcoming set, what does this mean for that? Well, it means good things for that. Essentially, what Pokemon are showing us, and they are telling us this super, super clearly, is that if we want reprints, they will bring us reprints. If we want sets to be printed again, if we want them back in stock, Pokemon will do so. If sets sell well, Pokemon will reprint them. The reason Battlestars isn't getting a big reprint at the moment is because it's been printed enough. The reason why Chilling Reign is getting a big reprint, or at least a reprint, I don't know how big the reprint is, I don't have that information, sorry. Might be a small reprint, we don't know. But the reason it's getting a reprint is because there is clear appetite from the community that we want to reprint. So, Evolving Skies, and to be fair, the pre-release price of Evolving Skies have not been ridiculous. It's been readily available for about 115 pretty much everywhere. But if it does sell out, it's going to be reprinted. We should be feeling good, ladies and gentlemen. This is wonderful news. I spent a lot of last year and the beginning of this year telling you that yes, the supply issues suck, but they will get better and it will get easier. Well, this is just another example of it's getting better and it getting easier, and we should all be absolutely delighted about it. This is good news. This is genuinely awesome, wonderful news, and we should all be extremely happy. But I want to know what you think. So let me know in the comment section, would you? Go nuts! Me nice! And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at TheWazzy, and Twitch for some live action at twitch.tv/PTCG Radio. If you want to support the channel, get some bonus podcasts and all that good stuff, head on over to patreon.com/PTCG Radio, or you can do exactly that. But by far the most important thing as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching PTCG Radio.